Hey, this is Mark with Goose Reviews, and in this video I'll be comparing the K2 clickers to the Burton Step On bindings. To make sure all other things are equal, I'll be using the same board, my Solomon Huck knife, to make the comparisons. My goal is to show you the close-ups and moving parts of each setup to help you decide which one fits your unique riding style and what you're looking for. I'll be going over the differences in how to use the bindings, their responsiveness, their parts, and the features of each setup. That's it for the intro, and we'll get right into it. To get into the K2s, first you lock the front in, and then you press the heel down and lock the release lever back. To get out, you unlock the lever and lift it, lifting your heel first, then the toes. For the step-ons, you slide your heel cleat in, and then lock the toe cleats in front. To get out, you lift the release lever, lift the heel, and twist the front to step out. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two. As you can see, it only takes slightly longer to get into the K2 clickers because of having to lock and unlock the release lever. This is different from the Burton Step Ons where you're ready to go right after stepping in hands-free. As a trade-off for this convenience, there's a possibility that the Burton's release lever can be inadvertently lifted. While it does take more time to get in and out of the K2s, it's an extra layer of security to make sure the release lever cannot lift unless unlocked. Now, because the K2 clicker's attachment points are in the center of the boot, this allows for some play and flex. Notice how it takes more of an angle before the board lifts and responds. This was surprisingly comfortable, and pressing felt very similar to conventional strap bindings, which is good if you're looking for a softer, more flexible feeling. I'd recommend this setup to someone looking for a more playful, forgiving ride. On the other hand, the Burton Step Ons were almost immediately responsive, and this is mainly because the front attachment points are on the outer edges of the boot. You can see there's almost no delay between twisting my foot and the board responding. I'd recommend the Step-Ons for someone looking for a more precise, stiffer, and responsive setup. Also, the K2 boundary boots that I'm using have a flex rating of 6 out of 10, with 10 being the stiffest, while the Burton Photon boots have a medium flex rating. On the K2s, the release levers are on the inner sides of each binding. The levers need to be unlocked to step in. Stepping in already locks the boots in, but the release levers themselves can be locked to not be lifted. On the Burton Step-Ons, the release levers are on the outer sides by the heels. The heel cleat has 2 locking levels to account for underfoot snowpack. The boots have a cuff clip to prevent your pants from getting stuck in the mechanism. The K2 clicker's heel cups are sturdy and made of metal, and my first impression was that they felt heavier. The heel cups of the Step-Ons are made of a lighter plastic, but that made me wonder, how much lighter are the setups exactly? To answer that question, I use a hanging scale and measured the weights of the boots and bindings. After weighing everything, the K2 boot and binding setup only weighed about a pound heavier, with most of the weight being centered around the heel cups and underfoot cleats. Here's a closer look at the K2 boundary boots. As you can see, the cleats are flush with the outsoles. And here's a look at the outsole pattern compared to that of the Burton Photon boots. To adjust the clicker bindings, you unscrew the heel cup and move it forward or back based on your boot size. The heel cup of the Step-Ons cannot be moved, so you pop the foot pads open and move them forward or back so that the locking teeth match up with your boot size. To adjust the forward lean of the K2s, there's a piece of plastic which you can conveniently flip around without any tools to have 2 different levels of forward lean. On the Step-On bindings, you take a number 2 screwdriver to 2 screws inside the Highback, and tightening those screws brings it to level F2 or F3. Lastly, if you have a Burton snowboard with the channel mounting system, there's good news that the K2 clickers are compatible. A plus of using the Burton Step Ons on a board with channel mounting is that the Burton mounting discs have holes that help you more easily see the reference marks on stance width. And for anyone wondering, Burton mounting discs are not cross-compatible with the K2 bindings because they don't have a screw hole for the foot pads. And the K2 mounting discs are not compatible with the Burton Step-On bindings either. So at least you know if you have a Burton channel board, you can put the K2 clicker bindings on it just fine. If my video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more board sport content and gear reviews. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.